Are you ready?
Hey guys, CSDX and welcome to this video, and at long last I'm back and it feels so good. With that said, Zelda Month. Back in 2011, a certain game called Skyward Sword Legend of Zelda was set to be released in November. One YouTuber in Austin Hargrave, also known as Peanut Butter Gamer, who I swear looks like Norv Burnham, aka Peter Avalon, the pro wrestler that was on TNA Wrestling a few times, decided to celebrate its release and all things Zelda within Zelda Month. Over time, it would become its own thing, even resulting in a ton of other YouTubers, big and also small, celebrating it with him. Of course, due to being burnt out about it, PBG opted to take a break and instead do a month of Mario to celebrate the release of Super Mario Odyssey, while everyone else does Zelda videos in his and Zelda's honor. And today, I thought that I would look at a Zelda entry that is, quite arguably, the darkest one in the entire series. That being said, Twilight Princess. The HD one. On the Wii U. Because I bought it a while ago, and, you know, I still love my Wii U, man! Let's go! I almost forgot. For any new viewers on YouTube, Vimeo, Twitch, or whatever, there will be massive spoilers from beginning to end, to the best of my ability anyway, in this review, just like all my other reviews where I end up going through the game entirely. Mostly because I usually review the story itself, because that is what intrigues me the most in these games. However, if you do not want to see any spoilers, well, you can leave the video if need be, that's perfectly fine. Or you can skip ahead to, I don't know, whatever time it ends up being for the video for when I say my final say. Although at the same time, that may also be a bit spoilery, so take this warning with pride. Anyway, let's go play Twilight Princess HD. My name? Birthmanny. See if you can get the very obscure reference I'm doing here, by the way. I get to name my horse? It's Pooper. I named her Pooper. So the game opens with Link and his father figure, what was it, Roll or some Raul? I don't know. Discussing stuff, which actually surprised me a bit when I first played this game. I usually recall most Zelda games starting with a fancy intro with a story about the legends of the Triforce and whatnot. I recall it being a thing in Wind Waker, Minish Cap, Phantom... Okay, are there any Zelda games that aren't Toon Link related that actually have that special Thank you. Of course, before we even get started on the official tutorial, we gotta help out at the farm, so we end up getting our horse from Ela, who I presume is a love interest or something. Of course, they could just be close friends, nothing wrong with that. This is gonna be a long review, isn't it? Man, herding these goats is stupid. Seriously, it's not so bad the first time around, but then they have the balls to time you the second time around, and with double the goats. God, I hate this crap. We soon end up meeting Tallow, Mallow, and Beth, who let us know about a slingshot. There's also Colin, who is, in my opinion, important in that he looks up to Link like a big brother or an idol. Trust me, it is definitely important. Of course, we go through a big tutorial where we get a fishing rod, a slingshot, a bottle, and a wooden sword that we don't get to keep for long. Oh, and grass can whistle for eagles, I guess. The goat also escapes and we step it like a sumo. Oh, and I get to pet the goat as well. Best game ever. Of course, having a sword means one thing. Beat up the chickens! I am ready for the immense onslaught of... Wait. What? What the fuck? Okay, I think this is the first time that attacking a cuckoo doesn't result in an onslaught of hellspawn cuckoos attacking you. Oof. I've really got nothing for this one. You got anything? Because I sure don't. Oh, right. The kids, they end up going after a monkey because monkeys have been causing trouble in the Ordon village. Although that one was not causing any real trouble, so it was not just... So of course we gotta go save them as they pretty much got caught by bokoblins. Boy, that was sure a smart plan, eh, Tallow? And we also gotta bring some stuff to Hyrule. Yeah, it turns out the place we're in, known as Ordon Town, or whatever it's called, isn't even a part of Hyrule. What is it a part of, you ask? That is a very excellent question. Of course, things go sour as monsters attack and kidnap Ila and the kids. And... oh dear. Whoa! Whoa, wait a minute, what the hell is that thing? Oh, I'm also a wolf now. We're then imprisoned and end up meeting our nav for the game, named Midna. And... I'm sorry, I just don't care much for her. Sorry, but she ends up coming off as an entitled little brat. And even when she redeems herself later on in the game, I can't shake the fact that she proved to have an ego the size of an elephant and was just an all-around prick for half of the game. Point is, it takes more than an apology to really show you aren't a bad person. Or in this case, a bad imp. We do end up getting to Zelda, who lets us know that the land of Hyrule is covered in Twilight, because it was apparently the only way for her to spare her kingdom from bloodshed a la the evil of Zant, the current ruler of a Twilight kingdom. Yeah, I doubt that is gonna end up much different, to be honest. So we end up having to go back to Ordon, as we have to go get a sword and a shield for Midna to use. And I'll admit, it's both awkward and yet adorable that Midna doesn't know how to use them. Too bad she tosses them away and bitches about it like a spoiled little brat. So for this section of the game, we have to go to Twilight-infested areas of Hyrule to collect Tears of Light to restore the power of the Light Beasts that watch over the land of Hyrule. And thank God it is nothing like in Skyward Sword. I haven't fully played through that game yet because motion controls suck in my opinion, but I can tell it is a stressful situation just by watching Cheka Conroy. Along the way, we of course get various items to help out on our quest, including iron boots, a gale boomerang, and even special bombs. And here's where the game can get really freaking dark. For starters, there are certain areas where you have to fight shadow beasts, and once we beat them, their remains become a warp point for us to use when we are Wolf Birthmanny. However, the catch is that you have to beat them all at once, or at the very least just don't have one remaining at any time. And more often than not, this is just bull. It can range from 3 to 5 of these things, and I just hate it. And the dark thing about this that I mentioned before, you ask? Most of them were originally Hylians. Yeah, Zant apparently kidnaps the Hylians from Kakariko Village, for example, and turned them into those shadow beasts. Again, Zelda, good leadership there. A fucking plus! By the way, using the iron boots as magnet boots is arguably the coolest thing I've seen utilized in a Zelda game. Also, there are certain collectibles to cover, namely Miiverse stamps. Perfect timing! See, in most games on Wii U and possibly 3DS, there were stamps you could collect to use for posting on Miiverse. However, since Nintendo closed Miiverse not too long ago, they're kinda useless and just there for collectible sake. So here's a post I did with my Hylian A stamp, and here's the one with Shocked Midna. Depressing, I know. Anyway, once we take care of all the light beasts being brought back, we're treated to the tale of the Fused Shadows, which is our main goal of getting right now. And it's the creepiest shit ever. Of course, Zant manages to put a kink in her plans, turning Link into a wolf permanently, and even causing Midna to be attacked by Lanayru, who looks more like Leviathan at a pride parade after being bathed in the nectar of fireflies. No, really, I even made a post about that one on Miiverse. See? So with the Fused Shadows lost and Midna close to death, we go to Zelda for help. The most she can offer is that only the Master Sword can turn us back to normal. As for Midna, Zelda actually sacrifices herself, giving her light to Midna so that she may survive in this world. Of course, the sacrifice causes Hyrule Castle to be surrounded in a diamond of Twilight. Seriously, what a leader. 10 out of 10. Thankfully, we do manage to get the Master Sword, but not after a game of hide and seek with the Skull Kid. Of course, with no Fused Shadows, we can't really do much. So, Midna tells us to go get the Mirror of Twilight, which is in Gerudo Desert. She also ends up telling us that her ancestors were the banished people who used the power of the Fused Shadows for evil. However, upon getting there, we learn that the mirror has been shattered into 4 pieces, with 3 of them across Hyrule. Not only that, but it turns out Zant ain't even the baddie of the main thing. It's Ganondorf. I don't know what I expected. It's like... Actually, I don't think I have an analogy for this one. Now that we got all the mirror shards, we can then set up a portal to the Twilight Realm. It is then revealed that Midna was, in fact, the original and true ruler of the Twilight Realm, turned into an imp, and she went to the land of Hyrule to find help, all while making the most disturbing and pedo-like smile I've ever seen. Okay, second most pedo-like.
Okay, third.
With this, we can finally go to the Palace of Twilight to face Zant. Upon facing Zant, we find out that the guy, while being cold and calculated with the helmet on, is actually stark raving mad. Our battle with him consists of 6 phases. That's right, 6. One after the other. And it was a hell of a lot of fun. When I first heard about this fight, I thought it was going to drag on forever, but it turns out this fight isn't actually that long. The first 5 phases are based on bosses and mini-bosses you fought earlier in the game, with the 6th phase being in a sort of Twilight recreation of just outside of Castletown. However, beating him doesn't change back Midna, as it turns out that her form was done by Ganondorf's magic, not Xant's. Of course, Midna responds to this with the calmest of responses.
Oh. Never mind.
What the fuck is this game? Nevertheless, we do make it to Hyrule Castle, thanks to the fused shadows, and it also doing me a big fright. And after all that, we make it to Ganondorf, who has Zelda's body imprisoned or something. How she survived her sacrifice, I have no idea. Ganondorf then possesses Zelda's lifeless body,
So I missed!
and as a result, we get one boss fight with Puppet Zelda, which is basically the first phase of Ganondorf in Ocarina of Time. And then we fight his Beast Ganon form as both human and wolf. Fitting. However, even though we beat Ganon here and restored Zelda, his ethereal form survives and Midna gets us out of there as she fights it with the fused shadow help. And loses. Cool. And horseback battle, and it sucks. This leads to a final one-on-one encounter with Ganondorf, which ends with the Master Sword stabbed right through his chest. No audio plays, and it actually fades into him screaming. That is powerful. Oh, but it doesn't exactly kill him so much as a vision of Xant breaking his own neck does. Nintendo, we're family friendly. Then it turns out that Midna is okay and back to her original form, and hot damn is she pretty. Too bad her personality sucks. Okay. In all fairness, she does learn the error of her ways. But I just can't find enjoyment in her after she basically just, what's the word? She was such a dick to us. I'm sorry, I really am, but I'm sorry. And credits roll. And we are also treated to a mid-credits cutscene, which is possibly how Marvel got the idea for theirs. Midna leaves her realm and in the process shatters the mirror of Twilight. Only this time, it's permanent. And at the end of the credits, we see that Link rides away from Ordon for unknown reasons. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is Twilight Princess HD. And I know that this was mostly audio, almost all audio for that matter, but I'm just getting my bearings since it's been a while. And at the same time, I'm going to be taking cues from the Nostalgia Critic in that I will be doing an outro similar to his, not the actual outro with the music, but the outro of talking about in this case, the game itself, while clips play, because it'll help me do it better than the constant pausing that I usually do and blatantly looking at the script like I was doing during this video of sorts. So, because I also end up forgetting to mention certain bits about the game while doing it as well, so, you know. Although I will say this, I will say this though, this game does not belong on the sheet. That's weird. Sonic CD is gone from the sheet. Should be fine. Let me just fix that. What? You know what? I'm sure I got another pen around here somewhere. And suddenly it disappeared right in front of me. Great. Well, whatever is happening, I don't know, but how good is this game exactly? Well, truth be told, it's actually fucking amazing. Yeah, I didn't like Midna that much, and there were a few instances that frustrated me, 4 to be exact. But the one thing that made this so good was the story and the characters overall. I genuinely cared about virtually all the characters in this game, even the NPCs that you barely ever notice. I wanted to continue and save the land of Hyrule more than ever. Everyone in this game had a story to tell, and it was told masterfully. The controls are great and can be a tiny bit iffy, but I admittedly had nothing too bad to point out about it. And while Minish Cap is still my all-time favorite Zelda game, I can see why so many people love this entry, and not just for how dark this game can get, both in story and in brightness leveling. All in all, I definitely recommend checking this game out, as it was truly a masterpiece, worthy of the Zelda name. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have to go figure out why my pens are disappearing. Oh, and happy Zelda Month as well. Oh, you know, I got a pen stash. Hang on, I'll be right back. Why are there apples in my pen stash? Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, click the like button to show your support, and you can subscribe for more. Click any of the cards and such to check out the videos there and whatnot. You can also check out my social medias in the description below, and please remember to stay awesome. Bye-bye!